Hi, my name's Alan Smith. I'm one of the organisers of the Global Azure Bootcamp, and I'll also be running one of the locations that we're running in Stockholm, Sweden. This video is going to talk a bit about one of the labs that we're going to be doing for the Global Azure Bootcamp. The idea of the lab is to have something that involves all of the attendees at as many locations around the world as possible, and to bring in some kind of a community spirit. So it's good to have some form of cooperation in there, and also a bit of competition in there, so that the attendees and the different locations in the different countries can compete in each other. So the lab that I've developed, the GAB Racing Game Lab, you can see it running on the TV here. It started out live as a sample for the Microsoft XNA platform, and it's based on the XNA racing game. And I've done quite a lot of modifications on the game to integrate the game with services hosted on the Azure platform. So we're using the Azure Service Bus, we're using Azure Storage, we're using table storage and blob storage, and we're using Azure websites to display the gaming website. So when you're setting the game up at your location, you may choose for the attendees to run it on their own PCs, but like I've done here, you can have it running on a large PC. As for controllers, you can play with a keyboard and mouse, but here I've got an Xbox controller for Windows. This plugs into the PC, into the USB port, and I can actually drive the game from this controller. So let's see how the game works by driving a quick lap. So if I press the start button, we'll go to the menu screen. On the high scores screen, you can see the high scores that are running in the event. Now we've got a few of the attendees, a few of the organisers who are testing this, and you can see their names and times coming up there. So going into the start race option, I can choose a car. This is important because we want a car that matches our driving style, and I typically choose the one that has the fastest acceleration. There's 3 tracks to drive in the game, and I'm going to drive the easiest track because that's the quickest one to drive. And then when it comes here, we can enter our player name, or we can enter our Twitter handle. If you enter your Twitter handle, you'll get a link to your Twitter page coming up on the high scores page. So it's a great way for people to follow you on Twitter and basically tweet your name if you've done a good score. So I'm going to enter my Twitter name. There we go, it's at Alan Smith if you want to follow me. And I'm going to click on the select button to start the race. Okay, so I'm starting driving around the lap now. You can see that the other ghost cars from the other players are appearing. They're coming from blob storage. I've implemented an energy recovery system like they have in Formula 1. So if I press the A button on the Xbox controller, I get a speed boost and hopefully I can overtake some of the cars. If you brake going around the corners, you get a boost in the ERS battery, which you can probably just about see in the bottom right hand of the corner. You can see that I'm currently in 4th place at the moment. Hopefully, if I drive carefully, I'll be able to pick up another couple of places before the end of the race. So coming down the lake is graphics. I actually added the lake to the game. I've done quite a lot of modifications to the game to make it more playable and also to do the integrations with Azure. You can see that my car's got the Swedish flag on it. Whatever country you're in, whatever your location you're in, you'll get the actual flag for your location appearing on the car. So I managed 5th place. I was spending a lot of time turning and talking to the camera, which is not good to do when you're supposed to be focusing on the driving. But that's given me a time of 1 minute 12.02 seconds. Let's have a look at the game website and see how the high scores came up on the screen. So here we can see the website for the game. You can see the actual times there. They may be a bit difficult to read on that screen. You can see at Alan Smith is there. That's my Twitter handle, and this is the lap that I've just set. If I go on to the beginner lap times, I can actually select on the lap that I've just driven, which is this one here. And you can see the graphs for the telemetry data here. And this is coming from Azure Table Storage. The game is sampling the telemetry data and sending the data to Azure. It's being processed by our worker role and being stored in table storage. You can see this graph at the top, the blue one, is the speed of the car. And I was crashing a lot. You can see the damage graph, which is beneath the speed graph, which is increasing in steps as I actually crashed into the barriers. And that was slowing me down a lot. The bottom graph shows the driver input. You can see the gear that I was in, you can see the brakes, you can see the steering. And Formula 1 drivers and racing drivers are always using telemetry data to compare speeds. So if you see somebody who's driving faster than you, you can go in, check out their telemetry data, and use that to improve your driving style. Here we've got the driver stats, so you can see who's driven the most laps, who's got the most damage, and who's spent the most time driving in the game. We've also got achievements. This page is currently under development, but the countries can compete for achievements. So if you drive a fast lap or drive a clean lap or drive a lap causing lots and lots of damage, you're going to get one of these achievements, and that's going to give points towards your country. And we're going to have a ranking of which country's got the most achievements during the game. So I hope you can join us at the Global Azure Bootcamp, and if you do, make sure you get a chance to log on and play the racing game, drive a few laps, and it should be fun. It should be a great way to cooperate and compete. There's also a hands-on lab that you can run through where you can build your own high scores table for your particular country or region. And I've recorded some separate videos together with a work colleague, Peter Ernholm, who's actually written the website for the lab. And we basically talk through the source code and how the code works, and also a bit of strategy for why we developed the website the way we did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game on the 25th. I'll be running race control.